Happy New Year, and welcome to Relatively Crafty, a knitting podcast. I am your host, Christy. I come to you from the Denver area of Colorado, where I live with my husband, Ron, our two daughters, Tatum and Delaney, and our rescue pets, Lilu the cat and Sophie the dog. Happy New Year! It is January 1st, 2019. I cannot believe that it is 2019. I remember being a kid and sitting on the swing set and figuring out how old I would be in the year 2000. And that age was 19 years ago. It blows my mind. It just blows my mind. It is 10:30 in the morning. So far, my new year has gone very well. I was sick last night. I was sick all day yesterday, and had some kind of sour tummy issue, nausea all day long, didn't eat anything really, and just kind of felt blah. I managed to stay up until midnight, but like at 12:01 I was in bed. However, I woke up this morning feeling much better, and that's the best way to start the new year, right? Anyway, if you are looking for me on Ravelry, I am Christy-Layel, and on Instagram I am Christy Layel without the dash. We have a Relatively Crafty podcast group on Ravelry where we have knit-alongs and giveaways occasionally. We just recently wrapped up our Advent mini swap. I hope everybody enjoyed their minis and had a good time with that. I can definitely see myself doing that again next year. So if you did enjoy it, please come back and we'll do it again next year. There's something about being able to just open a little something every day for the first 25 days of December or 24 days of December that just really, it's just a nice feeling. Like every morning I woke up and I was like, oh, I get to open another one, you know? And so yeah, I definitely want to have another one of those next year. So yeah, I guess that's all the administration stuff. Let's go ahead and get into the knitting. I finished a lot of things in December. I finished almost everything that I had to get finished. But unfortunately, I don't have very much of it to show you because it all had to go. But I do have a couple of pictures, and I will hopefully be able to post those, and that will help. Let's start with the mitts that I made for my coworkers. Now, I can't remember if in the last podcast I mentioned how many I was supposed to make. I originally, when I decided to make these for my coworkers, I was thinking I have four coworkers. I can make four pairs of mitts, and that'll be fine. However, I realized that like, I don't know, 2 weeks after I started, or a week after I started maybe, that I'd forgotten one that was on maternity leave but would be coming back for Christmas to have lunch with us, and she's coming back from maternity leave at the end of the month. And so I thought, well, I need to add, I'll make 5. I can still do 5. Well, and then they hired somebody like 2 weeks before Christmas, and so then I had to make 6. I'm like, oh, okay, well, it's getting kind of tight. I'm gonna have to like burn some midnight oil to get these done. And then maybe a week and a half before Christmas, I realized that I have a 7th coworker who only works in the office 1 day a week, and I'd completely forgotten about her. I felt so bad. So that was 7 pair of fingerless mitts that I had to make, 7 pairs, and I did it. I finished the last pair the day before the last person came back from their Christmas vacation, but I got it all done. I knitted all out of Hippo for the holidays from Lolo Did It. I ended up having to purchase new skeins of Hippos for the holidays because with my scrappy sweater, I wasn't going to have enough to make 7 pairs of mitts and the scrappy sweater, so I ended up buying like 4 extra skeins of Hippos for the holidays. But you know, it works out okay because I love the Hippo yarns, and I can just, you know, use them later on if I don't need them for my sweater. I did get some, and I'll show them in my haul at the end, that I got matching little Lolos because I know that I'm going to want to use at least some of it for a pair of socks for myself. So those are finished. I hopefully have posted. I think I only took a picture of 3 of them, 3 pairs, because I ended up giving half to. I think I gave 4 right before Christmas, 4 pairs right before Christmas, and then I ended up finishing up the final 3 pairs to give after Christmas. I was very fortunate that a couple of my coworkers were on holiday trips, and so they came back after Christmas. So I only have the 3, and I don't even remember what colors I used. Needless to say, they were all exactly the same. I made them all, I mean, nothing changed. The only thing that was different was the yarn that I used. So so they all look the same, except for some of them have different colored speckles. Hello, Sophie. I've been joined by a wonder dog, or as we like to say, a blunder dog. Say hi, Sophie. Say hi. Go see Sophie. Now take her away. Then the other thing that I finished that I don't think I had even started when I podcast last was the super secret sample knit that I was doing for Lauren at Lolo Did It. I wasn't able to tell you guys about it before, but today is the official day that the pattern is released, so I can. Unfortunately, I have already mailed out the item in question, so I can't show it to you, but I did take some good pictures of that in its entirety, so I will be posting them here. No. So the pattern that I knit was a Something Good shawl by Marcy Green, I believe. I'll put it down here if I've got that name wrong. And it's a reference to The Sound of Music, which is one of my all-time favorite movies. And it was a lot of fun to knit. I knit it out of yarn. I knit it out of Lolo Did It Dreamy, which is really very appropriately named because it is 70% superwash merino wool, 20% silk, and 10% cashmere. It's like buttered kittens. It really is. So this was the main color. And it is called Florine Fortescue's. And then this was the contrast color, which is Every Flavor Bean. And it was so much fun to knit. I got a little worried there near the end because I was running out of time, but I did manage to get it done and blocked and in the mail, and it should reach Lauren in time, and hopefully she will like it. And it's a fun pattern. The reason why this was super secret is because this pattern was included in her her advent calendar that she sold on with Lolo Did It, and so it couldn't be shown until the 1st, but it has officially been released, and so I can shout from the hilltops now that I knit it and that it was fun. And then the last thing that I finished was my last Hippo for the Holidays sock for 2018. And I will show those to you right now. This is Hippo for Baby Blue, and I believe it's Judy Blue Eyes. Blue suede shoes for the heels and toes. And of course I did my normal recipe, a Turkish toe up cast on, a fish lips kiss heel, and then 1x1 ribbing with Jenny's surprisingly stretchy bind off for the bind off. And these were super fun. I Also was kind of stressed that I wasn't going to make this, but I did finish them on the 30th, so 2 days ago, and so they are officially done. And that means that I have made it for the 12 Hippo for the Holidays for 2018. That's the second year that I've been managed to do the Hippo for the Holidays Cal, and I think I enjoyed it even more this year, though I did fall behind and start to stress out about getting it done. I have been asked if I'm going to do it for a third year, because I know that Lauren is doing it for a third year, but I think I have to officially say that I am not going to do it for a third year, simply because I just fell so far behind with work and family stuff and all the other responsibilities that I have, trying to knit, trying to keep up with a required knit every month just ended up being overwhelming. And so there's that, and then there's the fact that I have just a ridiculous amount of socks in my drawer already, and in 2018 I did not manage to knit a pair of socks for anybody else, and I wanted to knit socks for my family. So I think I'm going to spend 2019 focusing on knitting socks for my family, and that involves the rest of my stash. I knit a lot of Lolo Did It, and I knit a lot of Knitterly Things, which are two of my favorite dyers. But I have other dyers that I really like as well, and I didn't get to knit any of their yarn. So yeah, I'm just kind of focusing on taking it easy in 2019 and knitting what sounds good to me and knitting things for people that I love and just kind of relaxing with it. I'm not entering any year-long knit-alongs because it needs to be laid back. 2019 is the year of laid back. That's what I'm saying. So let me go ahead and show you the 12 pairs that I knit of Lolo Did It, starting with Hippo for New Year's 2018. And that was this pair. Oops. This pair. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to remember the heels and toe colorways offhand. The information is on Ravelry, which I would access normally through my phone, but that is what I'm recording on. No, those don't fit you, child. My daughter just tried to put on my sock and convince me that it fit her and that she should have it. It doesn't fit you, child. It's mine. You can't have it, see?
It fits.
No.
It does.
Anyway, so this was, excuse me, this was Hippo for New Year's 2018. I really love this colorway. Next was Hippo for Valentine's Day 2018, or Hippo for Valentine's, I believe. She added a little bit more to this color this year, and I liked it a lot. Then I knit Hippo for Mardi Gras, which was a new color for 2018. She didn't do this one in 2017, and I think it's fabulous, and I love this. Whatever color this was, this is a great color. Then I did Hippo for Easter, which was the same as last year, but the one that I got was really lightly speckled. This one was quite a bit more speckled, and it turned out perfectly. Then I did Hippo for Mom, which was another colorway that she changed for 2018, and I think she improved upon it. While Hippo for Mom last year was great, I do like this one slightly better, and so really love those. And these, you guys have to remember that all of these have been sitting in a box all year long, so I haven't been able to wear them, and I haven't even really looked at them very much. They've been kind of hidden. The only time I look at them is when I would put a new pair in, so it's kind of exciting to go through them. This one was probably one of my favorites for the year. This was Hippo for Birthday. And I realize that I'm not a fan of pink or black, and this has pink and black speckles, but the blue really ties it together, and the matching, I think this is Elba Island, heel and toe cuff, heel and toe skein really just brings it all together, and I love it. Then we have Hippo for Dad. 2018. I can't remember if this one was changed from 2017, but it turned out really good. This one is slightly different than the rest. This was not a hippo for holidays. This was a Helping Hippos skein. I mean, it technically falls into the hippo for the holidays because it's hippo, but this was the skein that she sold to and donated the money for hurricane relief. So it's fabulous, but very heavily speckled, and I absolutely love it. And it's one of the few that I chose to go with a gray heel and toe because the sock itself is just so bright and colorful, and I didn't want to detract from that. So yeah, love these. And then Lauren's sister had a baby this year, and I guess it was the first for that side of the family. So she did 8 different hippo for baby colorways that were monochromatic. I fell in love with several of them, especially this one. This was hippo for baby yellow. Absolutely fantastic colorway. I'm so in love with these. I also love the next pair, which is hippo for baby orange. And I have about a little less than a half a skein of each of these, maybe just about a half a skein of each of these that I am going to hold double and make a beanie for myself because these 2 colorways were just fantastic. I absolutely love them. And then for November, I did Hippo for Halloween 2018, which was a complete revamp. And completely different than Hippo for Halloween 2017, but still really nice. And then, of course, Hippo for Baby Blue, which I can't show you again because they're on my daughter's feet. You can't have them. They are mine. But you can go through my old socks, and there's a whole drawer of old socks. If you want them, you can have them. They're in the bedroom. Hippo for Baby Blue. And that is all the FOs that I have for December. And you might ask, but Christy, you are in 2, or were in 2 year long knit alongs for 2018, and you would be right. I was. And I do not have that last pair finished. Round about midway through the month of December, I really came, and like I had a real heart-to-heart with myself. And I came to the realization that there just wasn't going to be it just wasn't going to be possible for me to go ahead and finish all of it. So I looked at what absolutely had to be done, which was the shawl, and then I looked at what had to be done after that, and that was the hippo socks, and then the gloves. Well, I guess the gloves and then the hippo socks, because the gloves had to be done first. But anyway, I knew that the Knitterly Things box of socks, that was just my own personal thing. It was something that I wanted to knit in 2018. I wanted to utilize all that great Knitterly Things yarn that I had, and so I decided to make it my box of socks, but I wasn't going to enter any. I know that Kristen of Woolenvine, or of the Yarngasm podcast, hosts the box of socks Cal every year. I wasn't entering. I was just doing it for my own personal gratification. So I decided that I didn't have to get those finished in time, and I didn't. Had I been feeling better yesterday, I could have maybe gotten closer, but I wasn't, so I didn't. So I do have them worked on. I don't have them here though. They're in the bedroom. Can you go get them, please? So I have the first sock mostly done. It is just missing a heel, as you can see. And I have to say that I absolutely love this colorway. This is one of the Rainbow of the Month colorways from 2017. This is the December colorway, which was Fireside Hearth Song. And it came with a matching black mini for heels and toes. And I wasn't going to use it because you know that I don't like black, but you might be able to tell right there that the heel for me is falling right in the middle of the black stripe. So I think I actually am going to use black for the heel, which is very unlike me, but these stripes are not really long enough to split and use a contrasting color, at least in my opinion. So so it will have a black heel eventually. And then here is where I am at on the second sock. Just past the heel, so I expect to be able to get a decent amount of knitting done today. I could possibly finish the leg today and then do the heel tomorrow. The heels tomorrow. And so these will still be done early, and I'm still going to count it as my 2018 box of socks because I did get most of it done in 2018. And as I said, these were just my own personal just for my own personal gratification. I wasn't really entering this in any cowl. So this would be my finished box of socks. I only have one of this sock in there, but you can see that it's lovely and stripy, and I'm so excited to use it on my feet, I guess I should say. So let's go over these. I will not remember all of these colorways, but I will post them on below. And I don't even think these are going to be in order. Let's start with this one. I think this was the oldest one that I had. This was an old skein. It was like a club skein from 2008 or something like that. But I think it was the oldest skein of Knitterly Things that I had in my stash. And so I decided to knit that up. I think this was January's. Again, I would check on my phone, but I'm recording on my phone. And my child is fighting my dog in the background, so I apologize for any noise that you hear. I will be able to at least tell you if it was a Rainbow of the Month colorway. This one was early on in the year. This was not a Rainbow of the Month colorway. I think this was called Lightning in a Bottle. It was one of the ones that she dyed last year, and I fell in love with it immediately, and you can see why. It's amazing, of course. And those are a really dark blue stripe right there. I thought it worked out really well. This one is a Rainbow of the Month colorway. Absolutely gorgeous, of course. And as I said, I'll put the colors down on the bottom. If I don't remember them, I don't remember the name of this one, unfortunately. And then here is another one that was an older skein that I had. Obviously not a rainbow. It's only a 4-color striper, but it's really, really pretty anyway. And I opted for a mini red that I had in stash, I think, to make the heel. Then another Rainbow of the Month colorway. This was the one that I knit in the 5th month of the year, I assume, because that's the order it was in the box. And I apologize that I am not better prepared with the colorways. I normally write them all down beforehand, but a little discombobulated, I guess. But at least I can put them on the screen. This one is not a Rainbow of the Month colorway, but it was another one that I totally fell in love with. I bought it when I bought the Lightning in the Bottle, and it's amazing. It's probably one of my all-time favorite Knitterly Things stripy colorways. This one is a Rainbow of the Month colorway. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's just nice and simple, and I love it to death. I really love all of them to death, honestly. But yeah, I've said it before. Knitterly Things, she's probably my favorite stripy dyer. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to like diminish the talents of other stripy dyers out there, but I've consistently loved Julia's knitting. She's been doing this for like 8 years, something like that, and she's just so bloody talented, and her colors that she comes up with are they're in combinations that you wouldn't normally think of sometimes, or they're great shades, and I'm just really like it. I just really like her yarn. This one, I think I actually know the name of this colorway. This one is not getting on the sock blocker. There we go. Maybe autumnal equinox? Maybe? Probably not. But it's nice. And this one's a little bit different than the rest of them. This was a Rainbow of the Month colorway, but you can see she dabbled with some speckles. And I like it. I don't know that I like it as much as the other ones, but I do like it. I love that she speckled and striped. It's like the best of all the worlds, right? Next, we have another one that is not a Rainbow of the Month colorway. This was one of her older Halloween colorways. This is Hocus Pocus, I believe. A nice 3-striper. She's kind of pulled away from the shorter, less. She's kind of pulled away from the 3 and 4 color stripers and gone into more colors, which I personally like a lot. But you got to remember that these came out when striping socks was still really new. So she's one of the forerunners of the striping dyeing process. Yeah. Anyway, Hocus Pocus, great Halloween socks. I had this one in my stash for a long, long time, and now I finally have it knit up and I can wear them. The next two are Halloween, are Rainbow of the Month Club colorways. I absolutely love them. The beginning of the year were fantastic. Of course they were, but these ones that came out near the end of the year, I fell in love with them so much more. They were so much fun to knit up. And then lastly, this is probably another one of my absolute favorites. This was the one that I knit up in November. Look at that colorway. Is that not fantastic? I mean, so beautiful. Just so very beautiful. So that would be November, and then of course this is December, and that's 12 months of Knitterly Things for my box of socks. And as I said, I'm not doing yearly cals in 2019, just simply because it's going to be a year of relaxation and knitting socks for people that I love. And box of socks, as you know, is meant to be knit out of socks for yourself. You know, you're not supposed to knit them for anybody else. So I'm just not going to do it for 2018, or 2019 rather. But I did join Julia's yearly club for 2019 because that's the kind of person I am. She announced the other day that she was going to do another Sock of the Month Club. In 2018, she did a revamp of the Rainbow of the Month. And so I of course, didn't do it because I'd already gotten all the Rainbows of the Month. But 2019 is a new one. I think it's called World of Color. And I couldn't pass it up. So expect to see more Vesper sock in my hauls for the next year. I'm very excited about it. I love her yarn, as I've mentioned 850 times before. So yeah, I will hopefully get this finished in the next day or two, and I won't bring out, since I've showed them all to you, you know what they all are. I'm not going to bring them out again. Since I don't get to podcast every week, basically, these socks have sat in this box for a year, and I want to put them in my drawer. So I'm not going to wait another month to be able to. But dog keeps stealing my yarn. So yeah, I don't want to wait another, 3 weeks or a month to podcast again and then show them to you. I'm going to go ahead and call it done. So that is. So that was whips. I got one more whip. And it is my hippo scrappy sweater, which really I don't think has grown any since the last time I showed it to you guys, maybe an inch. I have been able to work in the second round of colors. There you go. I don't know if it looks like anything different than it did the last time I showed it to you. This got put immediately on hold when I realized that I was going to be in a time crunch to get all of my other December knitting done, so I haven't touched this in weeks. But as I said, I have moved into the second colors. There's some Hippo for Halloween 2017 in there, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. I still have quite a big bag of Hippo scraps to use up. Some little leftovers from, this is Hippo for Baby Blue, that I did use also for the fingerless gloves for my coworkers. So I only have, maybe 8 grams left. So that will go in. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. So hopefully I'll be able to start working on that again soon. And then I don't have anything else on the needles, but I do have some plans. With the Advent swap, I got all these beautiful minis from the 2 partners that I had, and so I kept trying to figure out what I wanted to do with them. And I know a lot of people chose to make the Easterly blanket. Is that what it's called? And I did buy that pattern, and I do think that I will make it eventually. But I didn't want to use my Advent minis for that. I have a plethora of other minis that I could use for that. And of course, I'm still knitting socks on a regular basis, so I continue to get new minis as the months go on. So I don't think I'll have to worry about having enough minis to make that blanket. But I was trying to find something that I could use for, some of the 24 or so of the minis that I got between my 2 partners. And so I decided to go ahead and do the Land of Sweets cowl, which is by Helen Stewart of Curious Handmade. This was, the Knit Vent from 2017. It was a pattern that was released in a group last year around Christmas, but I didn't want the group. I just wanted this one, and I discovered that they were selling it by itself. So I'm going to go ahead, I think, and make this out of these minis. And I just grabbed like the ones that I loved the most out of the ones that I got in my Advent swaps. There's 24 of them, and I'm going to use them in some order. I don't remember what order they came in, so it's not going to be one of those things, but I'll use them and put them in kind of willy-nilly, and I'm looking forward to that. As the weather has gotten colder, and my family is all here, the few cowls that I have made are being used by everybody, including me, and so I feel like I could definitely knit some more. In fact, my dad, this is amazing, my dad he's not a knitwear person. He never asked me for anything, except for once he asked me for a balaclava for riding his motorcycle, but it needed to be thinner than what I could knit, so that it would fit underneath his helmet. So it didn't end up working out. But he just recently asked me for one of those neck thingies. He borrowed one of mine, one of my cowls, when we went to something that was outdoors, and he was surprised at how warm it kept him. So yeah, he wants one of those neck thingies, and I said that I would be happy to knit one. What color did he want? And then I immediately followed that up with, it can't be black. So he wants a gray one, which is fine. I don't mind doing gray, but as we all know, knitting with black is not enjoyable. And then the only other thing that I have plans for is the other commission that I'm knitting for Lauren at Lolo Did It. And luckily, this is not a a surprise, so I can go ahead and show it to you. I'm going to knit her the Brunswick, which is a pattern by Marie Green. Is that the same lady who knit oh, I wonder if that's the same designer who did the Something Good shawl. Huh. Anyway, the Brunswick, Lauren wants me to make this for her, and I wanted to knit this pattern anyway, so I'm excited about that. I am using her Solo Base, which is a single ply 100% superwash merino wool. For the main body, it's this gray speckled, which is BBSLN. I'm not sure what that refers to. And then for the bottom colorwork bit is this, oh, no, that's not the right one, is this one, which is almost black, nice dark charcoal. And yeah, that's what I'm going to be working on in January. Today I will hopefully be able to do the gauge swatch and get that to her in time. I'm excited about it. That was a pattern that I was looking forward to making. Oh, and then the other thing, I forgot to mention this. I showed you guys that I had those socks cranked for my mom. I did not get them done. I gave her this for Christmas, which is a beautiful box. And inside are potential socks. There was one pair that was still on the needles, and one pair that had cuffs and toes but no heels, and then the minis to make the rest, and then a big tube for the third pair. So so that is another thing that I'm hoping to get done in January, is to finish these socks for my mom. She appreciated it anyway, understanding how much I've knit in December trying to get everything done. So she knew that it had already been a busy month, and was not upset that I didn't get them done. She knows that they're coming, and that's good enough. So yeah. Hopefully next time I podcast I can show you those. I guess we can get into haul. Let's start with yarn that I got in my Advent swap. Beverly made me this lovely duck bag. I absolutely love it. This fabric is fantastic. It's a nice drawstring bag, and I know I'll get a lot of use out of this with socks. She also got me this skein of 100 pure wool, which is not a yarn brand I'm familiar with, but it's a nice single, so I can, in a nice mauve color, I can do something fantastic with that. And then with Mad About Craft GB, I believe. Sorry, I don't remember your first name. I got this beautiful skein from Lay Family Yarns. This is a DK weight, and I'm thinking it needs to be a hat. I think it's beautiful. I love this bit here, especially. You know me. So those were my my December 25th openings for my Advent swap. And then, of course, I bought myself yarn, because you got to treat yourself, right? So let's see. I got this skein of Jinx yarn on a D-stash, and this is Sophie's doing. All of these bite marks she has taken to stealing yarn, so I have to be careful with her. I discovered that Jinx yarn is not going to be dyeing anymore, and or is not dyeing anymore, and so I'd never tried her yarn, and I wanted to. Found this on D-stash for a really good price. The colorway is Florence. It is not a striper, as far as I understand, but I do like the colors a lot. So, no, it's not for you. Then we went up to Georgetown. They had a Christmas market there, and so I went and checked out the little yarn store there. Picked up this skein. See, she's trying to steal my yarn. This skein of Dream in Color Classy, which is 100% superwash merino. I think this is a DK or a worsted weight. The colorway is Jessamine, and I think it would again make a perfect hat. Again, I'm finding that you can't have too many hats now. I picked up some mustache, two different skeins of mustache. This first one is called Sandbox Rainbow. This is one of her perfect pairs stripers. So excited about knitting that into some socks. I love those colorways. And then I got one of her Christmas colorways. These are each 50 grams. This one down at the bottom stripes up like a candy cane, and then this one is just green. So you knit one sock out of the striping with this for heels and toes, and then knit the second sock out of the green with this for heels and toes, and I'm super, super excited about it. I am hoping to get started eventually on my 25 or 31 pairs of Christmas socks. I think at this point now I have like 15 skeins of sock yarn and 2 socks already knit. The hippo for Hanukkah and Christmas from last year. So hopefully I can get those started eventually, but I won't have them for next Christmas, obviously, unless something amazing happens and I end up with the ability to knit in my sleep. I did get some Lolo Did It. As I mentioned, I had to get some extra hippo for the holidays colorways. So this is hippo for baby red, which I love, and I've gotten 3 of the other hippo for baby colorways. Actually, I've knit 3 of the hippo for baby colorways: hippo for baby yellow, orange, and blue. Then I have hippo for baby red, and I also, this is one of the ones that I picked up that I used for fingerless gloves. This is hippo for baby purple, which I'm going to pair with a Wonka Lolo to make socks for my mom, because this has got a lot of pink in it, and this is sriracha, by the way, that I'm using to go with hippo for baby red. So I'm going to put it in my scrappy hippo sweater, and then whatever's left will go into a pair of hippo socks for myself eventually. And then I also got hippo for New Year's 2019 because it was just so pretty. Look at all of those awesome speckles. And I'm pairing that with a Lolo in Sassenach. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. So super excited about that. And I won't break into these skeins unless I find that I really need them for my hippo scrappy sweater. Otherwise, they're just going to stay in my stash until I'm ready to knit them into socks. And then I picked up some Cannon hand dyes. Amy is the dyer for Cannon hand dyes, and she is a friend of mine. We used to hang out in the swap groups on Ravelry together, and I love the way she dyes. And so I picked this skein up from her. This is one of her polar opposites in the colorway Ponyo, and it's a defective skein in that it's got a knot in one of them. I don't care. I think it's going to be fine. So yeah, this one is orange with blue and gray, and this one is blue with orange and gray. Maybe just orange with blue and blue with orange, and you knit one sock out of each. I'm excited about that, of course. And then lastly, I got 2 skeins for Christmas, one from my uncle and one from my aunt. Brother and sister, not husband and wife. Uncle got me some Lolo Did It Christmas colorway, the Merry Gentleman, which is a lovely sparkly green. Super excited about making this into Christmas socks. And then Aunt Kathy got me Knitterly Things Vesper sock in Holiday Celebrate, which is gorgeous, of course. So adding those to my Christmas box of yarns. And that's it, guys. I think that's all I got to talk about. I've got to edit out a lot of interruptions from my dog and my children, and my children and my dog, and my children and my dog together, my children and my dog separately. Um, yeah. So anyway, I don't know when I'll get this edited. We're going over to my parents' house today to celebrate the new year. Um, and it'll be the last time we'll get to see my uncle and aunt because they are both going back to California and Texas, respectively, in the next couple of days. And so this is kind of the last hurrah with the entire family, trying to get them all to move out here because we're a close knit family, and it's always so great when they're here, and then we always miss them so much when they go back home. So, yeah. I don't know. Aunt Kathy, I think, is keen on it. She wants to be close to the family. Uncle is a big Disney fan, and he lives 45 minutes away from Disneyland now. So I think it will be hard for him to leave California, unless it was to move to Florida. So anyway, plus he's not a big fan of the cold weather. It kind of doesn't work out for him, but we're working on him. Maybe eventually. He comes out for Christmas every year, and hopefully we can just keep working on him and get him to move out here eventually. So, all right, guys, that is it. I hope you have a wonderful New Year's. Enjoy your family. Enjoy this new year, this new beginning, and have a great day. Happy knitting. Bye.